Okay, so this is one-step addition equations part 2. And if you haven't seen part 1, you probably should. It's a pretty exciting video. But let's quickly go through some review and then we'll do some more questions. So our goal all the time is to get the variable alone and positive on one side of the equation. And it makes no difference whether you've got x is equal to 5 or what. It doesn't matter what the letter is, and it doesn't matter whether the letter is on the left-hand side or the right-hand side. All of these are considered solved. Now, just some ideas for you. I like to highlight the variable that I'm isolating. It makes it easier for me to see what I'm doing and also easier to show you guys. Whatever you do to one side of the equation, you have to do to the other side to keep everything balanced. If you watch the other video, it's like being on a scale. You got to keep both sides the same. As long as they're the same, then your equation is still correct. Use the inverse. So remember that addition is the inverse of subtraction, and multiplication is the inverse of division. Order matters, so be careful when you're putting stuff in your calculator. I'll make sure I mention that later. And if your answers seem, and I don't know a better word than seem weird or odd, check them. And just practice every once in a while. Do a question, just check to make sure you don't forget how to do it. A lot of times if I have an exam, one of the things you have to do is show your check. So it'd be really sad to forget how to do those. And these are level 2 questions. So they're slightly harder than the level 1 questions, but not too bad. I mean, these are all one-step equations. All right, so first thing I'm gonna do, grab my highlighter, and I'm just gonna go through and highlight all my variables. I realize you can't see me doing it at the bottom of the page, but that's okay. So I know what I'm trying to get by itself. So if I look at the first one, I got x plus 2 is minus 10. Well, I need to get rid of this because I want the x by itself. So the opposite or the inverse of positive 2 is minus 2 and minus 2 here. Be careful. If you want, use your calculator, but remember, minus 10 minus 2 more is going to give you minus 12 is equal to x. And there's one, you know what? Let's do a check right away. So 3 steps to a check. First thing you do is rewrite your original equation. Next step is you take your answer and plug it in where the variable was. So minus 10 is equal to minus 12 plus 2. You're substituting. And then you just finish up the equation. So there's nothing to do there, but minus 12 plus 2 is minus 10. So we know we got the question right. Next one, I've got x is 3.5 plus x is equal to 0. It doesn't matter if the numbers are decimals or fractions or irrational numbers or whatever, the plan is still the same. I need to get rid of 3.5. So I'm going to subtract 3.5 and subtract 3.5. So this disappears, cancels out because it adds up to 0 and we don't need to write a 0. So x is equal to 0 minus 3.5, so that's minus 3.5. And there we go. I'll do one more, and then I think you guys should turn off the camera and just wait a while and do the questions, and then check the answers. Again, I can't emphasize enough, you have to participate. You can't just be lazy and sit there and watch. Sorry, that wasn't nice. You can't just sit there and watch and hope to learn. You have to be an active learner. Or as my mama would say, don't be lazy. So there's x, so we need to subtract 12 and subtract 12. So x, so minus 9 minus 12 more is going to give me minus 21. Ta-da. All right, seriously, turn off the camera, do the rest of the page, and then turn it back on and make sure you got your answers right. Or I'm hoping at the end of this package there might even be an answer key. So trusting you, turn it off, seriously. Okay, I hope you really did. So n plus 6 is 0, so subtract 6 to get rid of that using the inverse. So n is equal to -6. So move my page up here. All right, so y plus 6 is 3, so -6 minus 6. So y is equal to, now, careful when you put it, if you need to put it in your calculator, you have to put the 3 in first. So 3 minus 6 is going to give me -3. And that makes sense, but let's do a check anyway. A lot of times with the checks, you can even do them in your head, but if you have to write it out, again, 3 lines. Y is equal, whoops, plus 6 is equal to 3. I take my answer and I put it in where the variable is. And -3 plus 6 is 3. So, ta-da, we know it's right. Next one, there's my R. Here's my 6. Now, I should mention this in the last video. This plus belongs to the R. The reason we're subtracting is because this 6 has that understood plus on it. So -6 minus 6. So 9 minus 6 is going to give me 3 is equal to R. There's my X. I need to get rid of the plus 9, so I'm going to subtract 9. So X, now I have to go minus 8.3 minus 9 more. That should give me minus 17.3. Now I've got K plus 1.8 is 7. So minus 1.8 minus 1.8. Oh no, I want to use my calculator to make sure I'm okay. 7 minus 1 is 6 minus 0.8 should be about 5.2. Now, I'm a little worried because I'm doing this without my calculator. Let's do a check. That's what I mean. It's for practice or when you're not 100% sure that your answer is right. So 7 is equal to K plus 1.8. I take the number and I put it in there. 7 is equal to 5.2 plus 1.8. Completely old school, folks. 8 and 2 and 8 is 0. Carry the 1. That gives me 7.0. So we're golden. So 7 is equal to 7. Check. Let's see. Ooh, minus. I was getting hard here. Minus 10.2. We need to just get those questions right. So this is going to disappear. X is going to be, so this is me being super lazy. I'm going to make sure 4.6 minus 10.2. Well, ignore my calculator, it's just weird. Negative 5.6. Sometimes I want to make sure I get my answers right. So I'll cheat and use my calculator. It's not cheating. It's just being lazy for me. So next one, minus 17, minus 17. So X minus 8 minus 17 more should be minus 25. Minus 5 minus 5. Y is equal to minus 10 minus 5 more is minus 15. And oh, G plus 0 is negative 3 is G plus 0. Well, you know what? You could write minus 0 and minus 0, but I made a question to mess with you. You never have to write the plus 0, so minus 3 is equal to G. Done. Last thing, practice, practice, practice. You should be bored of this. They should be so simple and so boring before you go on to the next one. Have a great day.